The following announcement has been paid for by Perched on the Top Rope.
Yo, baby, yo, man, here we are, and I am perched on the top rope. Happy to be getting down. Let's get it on and enjoy the show.
And you got to work in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and I mean, you worked with the top of the top while in New Japan. You were going by Avalanche in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I mean, Antonio Inoki, Tatsumi Fujinami, Masa Sato. What was it like to be in New Japan Pro Wrestling and work with all their top talent?
I'll tell you what, man, and that's an interesting story how I even got there, because I don't know. It just didn't. It just didn't end up the way it was going to end up. And so I ended up with. I was out in Portland after I left AWA. Me and Shinji Chikano, Super Ninja, we went out to Portland. We got into Portland. They hired Shinji right away. Sandy Bar was using me in Salem one night a week, you know. So. We were out there doing that. Then Rick Morgan left for the WWE contract that he never ended up signing, and Lynn Denton came over and took over the book, right? And so Don knew who I was, and so I was hanging out there anyway. So hey, why don't we use the kid, right? So they knew I'd already been on TV with ESPN, and I was doing the Avalanche gimmick. So we started to. You know, they introduced me, and I got on as the Avalanche out there, and I was working every day, 7 days a week. And eventually, I ended up turning heel. You know, the stuff got over. I was learning my craft and stuff like that. And I ended up doing a match. I think Buddy Rose was my tag team partner, because we were doing. I came up with this Beach Boy gimmick, and so. And then what had happened is Fujinami was doing like a world tour. He wrestled plenty for the Portland Northwest Heavyweight Championship, and then he went over to Germany to wrestle one of the for the Middleweight Championship in Germany, right? So a lot of territories. So what ended up happening is Fujinami saw me wrestle, and when I came back, him and Dave Sierra, they pulled me to the side, and Fujinami, because Bam Bam was in New York at the time, and he goes, "Oh, you were next Bam Bam Big below Japan." And I went, "I'd rather be first me," and but he liked it, dude. So I was going to be going to Japan in February, so it was already a done deal. So in the meantime, I just got my phone hooked up in my apartment at the Bomber. And my first phone call from outside is Otto Vance. And he goes, "Hey, I want you to come to Germany." I'm going, what? How'd you get to my number? And he tells me Fujinami's over there. And, Kamala had just flown home. He had some family issues, and they needed a big man for Bremen. So I went to Bremen, and thanks to Fujinami, then went to New Japan. And when I went to New Japan, I was one of their top heels, the guys that came in, and I did get to wrestle all their guys. Fujinami, it was Hattori. I got to wrestle all their top guys at the time, and I even wrestled Antonio Inoki. We didn't really communicate much. There wasn't much he could do with me because of my size. I'm disappointed in the matches, but I had matches with Sid Vicious and some, and stuff like that. We had some tags, and everybody was always trying to outdo one another. And at the end of the tour, it was like Sakaguchi was like, "Okay, we'll call you." I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then Sakaguchi came back to Germany about 2 years later, and he saw me work Dave Taylor, English Dave Taylor, right? And we did a match, and I caught him on a La Planche out onto the floor. I didn't go down, ran his back into into the turnbuckle, and as soon as I got through the doors, Saguchi was there. Oh, I think you come back to Japan now, you know, and so that was pretty cool. But the thing was, I Randy Colley, Moondog Rex, had already talked to Ole Anderson at the time, had the book for WCW. And we talked to him, and Oldie said, okay, yeah, tell the kid to be ready for January. So I was going to come in, and they were just going to work me in, you know. So, and that was on Randy Colley's word to Oldie. Oldie knew Randy had an eye for the business, and Randy Colley did. I mean, great worker, great mind for the job and stuff like that. And so we ended up getting, you know, I ended up going in, but Ole got fired and Dusty came in, but Dusty had to finish his contract with New York. So when I had my dark match in Macon, I thought it was really shitty, but Dusty said, hold on, we're going to use you. And then he brought me in that March, right? So my whole goal was to go to WCW, but hindsight being 2020, I wish I'd have set my world in Japan before I even did anything in the United States, you know. So hindsight being 20, I have no regrets, but that's what I wish I would have done.